on maintenance day. We're in between moving to a different part of the country, so we're doing maintenance. I don't want to take the time to make a video out of this, but I do want to show y'all real quick. Been working over my head. You can tell where I added these flanges. I'm not done up top, but I've added these flanges on where my head connects on Brutus on these both sides here, because I think my head's been getting twisted and been having some trouble. And also, with the way this thing was designed, when the head comes back, when you tip the head all the way back, it's not got a stopper, and it's been cramming on that cylinder. And I screwed that cylinder up once last year or something like that, and I've had cracks and stuff that I'm convinced is happening from overextending it and the cylinder losing its power, you know. So we put this backhoe pad on here to make a stopper there. We've strengthened up that. I also have a situation over here where the way I shovel my trees is at an angle, and the pin's been wallering out like crazy on the collars. There's there's the collar there. So that shows you the size of that collar. Well, I got some longer collars made down there. Zarfoss down there at Prairie Lake's made me up some longer collars with some more surface area. So I got one for top and bottom. I've torched them all out and gouged them all out to replace them. I gotta clean them up yet, but I'll replace them with bigger collars and put my arm back on. Because when I carry my trees, I'm kind of carrying them through here. You can see the wear on the paint there. There's a lot of wear and a lot of action goes on up in here. And then down in here, this pinch point here. So, and then the cylinder busted on me the other day, and I had to make the ends on the cylinder without ruining the rod. Rod got bent. It was a mess. The rod got bent. The end screwed up. And of course, not to gouge Quadco, but they use these daggone freaking bearing things, and I hate them freaking bearing things. Those of you out there designing equipment, man, you use them freaking bearing things, them things piss me off. I'm gonna tell you, they piss me off. So I had to cut up a big cylinder we had spare up the bare hollow, and I made me a solid brass on this end and solid steel on that end. So you take that chintzy, them chintzy knick-knack parts, man, they get lash in them and they just destroy themselves. So when you're really pushing the capacity of a machine, man, that's where your weak spot's gonna show up. Things are junk, I'm telling you. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'll show y'all when I get done what I come up with there. Man, that's why you don't throw old pins away. That's from the old hood boom from years and years ago. I think we got rid of that thing in 2012. And it was old, antique, and it's like an 85, I think, model, something like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, this week is a mess. Monday we got pulled out of that job mostly, but the guys had to come back and Dan had to come back with his truck, get the boom, because he got rained out the day before on Monday, getting pulled out of there. And I think I started on Brutus Monday. Tuesday morning, Tim had trouble with the edger. We was also trying to work on that gear for the grinder in the file room. It was coming. Had trouble with the ripsaw, trying to get my buddy BJ's order done for him, and I was trying to get that done. We had, oh my gosh, Robin there's a bunch of stuff screwed up on the din. The maintenance on it is not proper, so he's getting that all done and caught up. And there's Jim, the UPS guy. He's got his phone charger is dead in his truck. He has trouble with his phone charger, and I gotta have to fix it for him here in a minute. But we get him squared away. So in this case, Jim, it's what can you do for Brown instead of what can Brown do. So I actually got the pleasure of working on a phone charger in a big brown truck.
Then towards the end of the week, it was hell week. It's the Monday, Tuesday, Brutus. Wednesday, Summer Brutus. Thursday, Friday, the Knuckle Boom. Saturday, what did Saturday turn into? I think Saturday was something, but I forget. But it's a full week of hard pushing maintenance. Skidders, cutters, Derek's cutter, my cutter, trucks, then. You name it, it got loader. Even a loader. I think me and Dan had to work on that loader a little bit too on one of the days. The one we're trying to chase down a transmission on a G loader. It's about time for us to re-up on loaders. It's just getting about that time. So we'll see how we go here.
Now half the times on weld collars in like this, it gets tight. The pin does. And when I popped on this one, it fell right down. So I thought, well, heck, I'll record this. Usually you got to fight them, get them out of there the first round. I got that thing coming right out of there. Well, let me set y'all up and I'll get her out.
Okay, this didn't happen this week, but the other day I had to go out, like the week before this week, and patch this. The den had a crack on it from pulling trees cockeyed. Started tearing the boom. Had to weld it up. And then this is the week of what we're working on. We had a little wreck in the hog, and that was changing some hog teeth. I sent a picture to Mama. I just wanted to note that so it's saved on this date. And here was a gear on the grinder in the file room. It was actually on Big Deal's video when we went to the mill. And here was the other day we had an issue with the head saw. Kept getting something to kicking the computer out on the head saw. Well, this fan was shorted out in the circuit somehow, and this was the Edgerman's fan. Somehow the circuit was backing up and grounding out and killing the cab circuit in the head saw. And here's the problem. My buddy BJ wanted some lumber. We got some dry lumber for sale. Anybody needs some dry lumber? We got some dry lumber for sale, and I was cutting it out for my buddy for trim, and I screwed up on this old Madison 202 rip saw, and I yanked on the speed thing wrong and screwed it up. This motor's actually wound for three different speeds, and this conglomeration you're looking at here was a different speed selector to where it wired the wiring different to the motor to run its different speeds. It's got like 3 different speeds and I think a reverse also. But none of that stuff's worked for years, but I ended up breaking something in there. But me and John Fisher figured out how to get it right, and there's his order done after we got it fixed. Thank you, John. Now we'll get pallet stock going. This is the next morning. I'll do a voiceover here. There we go. Let me get this up here for y'all. This is the 75 horse Sullivan air compressor we got down below. Now we got the wrong stuff. We got the choo-choo train air dryer over there by where I'm standing, and we got the wrong desiccant in it. We got a silicone desiccant instead of the clay desiccant. It was a little bit of just a oversight when we ordered the stuff, and it puts a little bit of stuff in the final filter. There's a final filter that after everything, and that's purging off some moisture off the compressor. But here we're over here helping Poncho. But anyways, I gotta purge that stuff in the mornings. Usually once a week, a good purge will get that powder out of there. If not, it gets up in the valves upstairs and stuff. And there, me and Poncho is. Now Poncho's real particular on how he's got these wood misers, and it's took me a while for him to train me up to where I can help him a little bit, to where I can get by if he gets sick or something and I have to run it or something. Which we got enough people around now where I don't do this very often as far as have to run them anymore. I never did do them much, but we got good people, and I mean they more chase me off than anything. You know, but I want to know their jobs. If something happens, if somebody gets sick, I don't want them feeling the pressure that they have to work. You know what I mean? Or somebody's going to look down on them. I want them to know that somebody's got their back if they're in trouble, even if that's got to be me. You know. And here I'm checking out the Ultimizer. This thing is what chops our links, and it's an older technology, but a goodie. It's an oldie, but a goodie. But it does have a lot of knickknacks. It has to be right, and sometimes this stuff thumps on it because this saw was really made for dried wood, dried 3/4 inch wood, and we're running wet 3-inch wood through it. So, and now I have turned the saw down, the velocity of the saw, stuff like that, acceleration, velocity, braking, acceleration, all that stuff, to where the saw is run a little spongier than what it comes out of the factory to run. You know, it'll bang through hardwood, bang through dried wood a lot quicker. So we kind of got it turned down to help it, but that don't fix it. It does good. Really, all in all, this thing does pretty daggone good. It's pretty daggone easy on itself. We don't go through a lot of parts. We go through some, but mostly just blade and belts, and once in a while overhead wheels, and some valving stuff I've had some issues with, and power supply. And there's me waving at the boys down there. I love picking on them boys down there. We got a good bunch of stackers. We got a good crew of stackers, and I'm not blowing smoke up y'all's butt. We got a damn good crew of stackers, and they got a connection that's pretty much second to none, the way I feel like, and they like giving me a hard time. But not that I would ever give them a hard time or anything or torment. I torment them constantly. They're good folks. Look at that dip in that one, right there in the fidget. Back that video up if y'all can. Just look at that dip in that one. These blades, there's something. If anybody watches this from Wood Misers, get a hold of me, please. I think we're doing. Me and Poncho don't know, but I think we're doing something. I think our feed rate's wrong or something's wrong, because once in a while we get more saw floating than we should, like as if the band's swimming in the cut. You know, which I need to do, get a calculator out and figure out your feed rate as opposed to your band rate. Because there's a certain amount of feed you're supposed to put into the gullets of the tooth of the band. And I think, if anything, we're low. I think these saws need turned up, but I don't want to say nothing until I talk to a professional. I think they're swimming, but maybe not. It'd just be nice to have a pro come through and scope it out one day and take a couple hours. Like if it's on their way. See, Wood Miser's in our state, Indiana. Woodmoz is a damn good company, and they're in the home state of Indiana here. And there's me and Big Mike. We're looking over some. See, Big Mike he's checking right there. He's like, yep, don't pass inspection. So him and Alex over there. Alex is the one on the left. Him and Rodney's are lumber graders, and he inspects a lot. But right now we're a little short-handed, and they might be floating people out to get the cleaning done and stuff. This will be Thursday morning. That's my air compressor morning. So him and Big Mike here, they kind of look things over. They've been around a long time. Really, everybody shares a load. Any one of them on the line pretty much can inspect. There's no gods and clods sort of thing. Anybody can inspect either thing. Whoever needs to do what at whatever time that certain thing needs to be done. It's a team effort. And so you see, like Alex jumped over there to stack. Mikey will jump over there to stack. When somebody else is, they just kind of float around. Everybody does their thing. That's why it's so crucial that your stacking team is a team. It's crucial. And when you get an odd duck out on the stacking crew, man, it makes a mess out of the stacking crew. The stacking crew has to be a tight-knit team. They got to laugh at the same jokes. If somebody pulls somebody's finger down there, you can hear, like you can torment them about something or do something goofy, and you can hear, when they're pulling lumber, you can hear laughter all the way up the line. Like one of them, you crack a joke to one of them and everybody's going to laugh. That's the type of connection you're after. Now this is our vibrating conveyor taking all the scrap, the rips, the chops, and the top slabs off of the pallet wood and the scrap, and take them to the hog, which then goes to mulch. This is a skidder we got for parts, and we're going to strip some of the big boy parts off of it because it's a 748 G3. We got the big bore cylinders, the big front blade, the big 14,000 axles. It would have been the gray top style model. It was a newer model, had a slap shifter in it and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of good gizmos. And if anybody's got an old 748 grapple skidder and they want to buy the boom or the tongs off this thing, get a hold of me on loggerway.com, because I would be interested in getting rid of that. And it looks pretty well okay. It's not fantastic perfect, but it's okay parts. The cylinders look fine, look dry, and the pins and the snubber area and stuff looks fine. All that stuff looks fine. But we're going to strip this thing down maybe this winter and get parts that we need, and maybe scrap it after that or something like that. It's a good frame. I like it. I'd like to build it back. If I had more time, we'd build a son of a buck back. We'd build her back from the dead. It'd be a fun project anyways, but we don't have time. We got to move on. But that's this week. When we come back next week, we got more craziness as we start the next job and an auction that we got to do. But thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody has a wonderful day, and everybody do not forget to smile. Adios.